Welcome back, everyone. This is Ready or Not.
Football edition. I'm Nate the Great.
I'm Chris Stacks, and it is a wild week of football. And who would have predicted half of what happened this week?
Definitely not me.
Not me either. I thought it was fun.
Except for a few games, I predicted those.
You
but
did
we'll
predict
talk
a
about
few.
that later.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So this is the Week 7 recap edition. We're going to go over the games that happened this weekend. We're going to go over what happened in the Fantasy League, the legends and the duds, along with a couple of the things that I'm sure Nate is very excited to talk about.
Oh yes, while I do look like I'm happy and I'm smiling, I'm actually crying on the inside. Go ahead, Stacks.
We'll get to that in a moment as well. So let's start off with the NFL games of the week. Just to do a quick recap. There was only a couple games that I really wanted to point out. We finally had a Thursday worth watching.
Oh yes, finally.
Like New Orleans with Andy Dalton at the helm versus Arizona and the Cardinals.
Well, we have Hopkins back in the mix, so that created a much more versatile offense for Kyler Murray. And ended up being 42-34. So
42-34 on a Thursday night football.
I enjoyed it very
Amazon
much.
got their money worth. I'm happy to watch.
I mean, I don't know if that covers the last 2 weeks, but
Oh no, it definitely doesn't cover that. But that week they got their money's worth. We also, we always have a close match when it's in division, and you had the Baltimore Ravens versus the Browns.
Which Ravens pulled it out, but that was on the back of who was it? Gus Edwards and Tucker.
Yep.
Like Lamar ran the ball a bit, but he threw for like 120 yards, not much, no touchdowns. Gus Edwards ran in 2 touchdowns, and Tucker kicked 3 field goals for that bit.
Tucker's
been
he's unreal.
Yeah, Tucker's been Tucker for years.
So the what the hell game of the week? Tampa Bay loses to Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina, who just traded away CMC.
Right.
Working on, what was it? The third string?
Fourth string.
Fourth string.
You had I always forget their actual starting quarterback who's been out. He's the guy that had Mono back at the Jets. Sorry, Christina. Then you got Baker, and Baker was also out. And then there was somebody else that was also out. And then this guy was the fourth option.
PJ Walker. Who
with a
did
new
work
coach.
for them.
With a new coach.
With the new interim coach.
Right.
They don't have an official head coach yet.
Right.
So you have PJ Walker, who they already announced is going to be the starter for this upcoming week because he beat.
Which is pretty awesome, to be honest with you. If you really think about it, that's pretty cool that they did that. But the other game this week, Nate, that we talked about was the Kansas City San Francisco game.
Well, that one, as far as the good games go, yes. So you have Kansas City. That was a good high. Not as high scoring as I would have liked. Chiefs scored high, but the Niners, with their, they have CMC, they have a new weapon, and they couldn't quite put it together. Garoppolo didn't actually have the team together. You have all the weapons, just need to find them.
Which is what I was worried about. But if you look at what I say last week, Kansas City, the only way that the Niners are going to be able to keep up is if they're able to run the ball and slow the game down. They didn't slow Patrick Mahomes down.
Yeah, you did say that. And with CMC, you should have been able to slow it down.
Right. Just like I was worried about, though. And so funny enough, I wanted to look up quick, and the depth chart right now for the Panthers only shows Baker Mayfield and PJ Walker, with Baker as the second. But there is 2 other quarterbacks. One of them, I remember they said he's making like $6 million this year. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's making $6 million this year to sit on the bench.
That's nice
So
little pay.
they got some quote unquote all-stars on their cast that are getting paid to not do anything.
But also another game I wanted to point out was Commanders beating the Packers.
Yeah, no, I had that down as well. 23-21.
Yeah.
No.
I did not think so. Like I went away from that TV screen a few times, and I came back and I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, no, I mean that.
Aaron Jones finally went off, but Rodgers still nowhere to be seen.
He looks lost. Luckily, Cowboys, Dak's back. Took him a little bit. I know he did not hit Gallup one time.
I'm very upset about that. Just one time. That's all I needed.
But Dak is back, 24-6. You had Tennessee.
Which that was a rough first half though.
Oh yeah.
You're down 6-3. I wasn't sure if you were gonna make it, but it was the last 6 minutes.
6 minutes, I think it was.
Last 6 minutes of the game where you scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Dak turned it on.
Like, okay, fair enough.
Matt Ryan was benched for the Indianapolis Colts, losing to Tennessee, which is huge. They got a rookie going into quarterback for them as well. And then, as you mentioned, actually the Bears, New England.
Yeah.
And Zappy replacing. These guys are rotating quarterbacks so fast. I'm blanking on
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, thank you.
Zappy didn't put up a Bears. Who would have thought Bears would put up 33 points on a Monday night game?
That was the first time I think since he's been in the league that I thought Justin Fields looked like he knew how to play football.
Yeah. No, and plus against a
good
pretty
defense.
strong Patriots defense.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens next week. I'm excited for some of the games this coming week, but that's not what we're going to go over today. But I mean, we got, we had the Carolina Panthers Tampa Bay game. I'm still scratching my head. Still, is Tom Brady going to retire midweek? We got to get him some help. Like their coach
he needs something.
He's lost too, so I don't even know what they're going to do. But at least we had some good games. We had some games that actually had some points for a change.
Yep.
It was a fun week overall. Let's see. Hopefully things will keep going in this direction so we can have some more fun.
I just hope the points find my team.
Find your team, not your brothers. So the other Rodriguez.
Yes. Let him funnel some points to me. He actually texted me last night. He's like, I wish I could give you 1 point.
You only needed half a point.
Yeah, I know, but just one for that buffer. Half-point buffer.
So do you want to go over the bet or do you want to go into the injuries?
Well, the bet, yeah, this week's bet. So we have the games that we had decided on were Indy versus Colts. I picked the winner. Green Bay, Washington, I picked the winner. And Seahawks, Chargers, you picked the winner. So, yep, in the back on my side. There we go.
That hurts me.
Right in the koozie.
That hurts me. We're definitely going to come up with something this week because I need that dollar back.
Man, just let me have it, man.
Man
That's my only win this week.
Man only gives me $2 a week for allowance, so I need that dollar back.
I was talking about actually going back in the NFL games. You said Dak back, but also Tua back.
Oh yeah.
So Tua, he still has work to do. So he was releasing the ball a lot quicker, which I liked. But he still needs to get that aim going on that quicker thing because there's 4 passes that were very nearly intercepted.
So close to being intercepted.
Very nearly.
You guys were this far from losing that game on numerous occasions.
I know. It was gut wrenching for me.
And you guys weren't even against a great defense this week.
No. But that being said, Dolphins with Tua 4-0, without Tua 0-3.
Yeah.
So let's see. It is massive this week and keep that going. And I'm not going to say he's going to be undefeated. He's probably going to lose one game.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. Not to the Cowboys though.
Oh my goodness.
You guys.
Oh my goodness. If we did, we'd probably be going to that game.
Well, yeah. Even if it was in Dallas.
Right.
We can do the podcast from there.
Now, if you look at injuries for the week,
quite a few.
It's going to shake up some teams, I think.
Well,
Unfortunately, not Wills.
Brees Hall, yeah, not Wills. He has no injuries. I think he only has one person on bye or 2 people, which doesn't affect him. But yeah, Brees Hall went down, which I saw Christina already dropped him.
Yeah, Brees Lightning out for the season. ACL, meniscus. Tannehill now week to week with a leg injury. You had Zeke with a knee contusion, and they're saying he's week to week.
I don't even know what that means.
It's a bruise.
That's okay. That's what I thought.
Aaron Boone just was the hot guy, and all of a sudden out of IR. Yep. You had Mike Williams, high ankle sprain for the Chargers. He's out 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
High ankle sprains can mess you up. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep, he just came back.
And the coach said he's not in concussion protocol, but other people are saying he is. So I don't know what the deal is. They said there's a possibility he could play this week, but I would not be expecting it. DK Metcalf, he's potentially out multiple weeks with an injury. Alan Lazard from the Packers, shoulder, he's questionable. Corey Davis, sprained MCL. I wouldn't expect him for a few weeks either. Russell Gage from the Buccaneers, out with a hamstring injury. And then David Njoku is out 2 to 6 weeks after the one time this year he looked like he knew how to play football.
Well, he did well for me, I think, last week, and then, 2 weeks ago, I think. And then luckily he got me, actually, no, if he got me a little bit more, it would have been better. But as far as tight ends go, he got me as much as I can expect from a tight end before he went down. Now, that being said, with Mike Boone out, Marlon Mack was already signed by the Broncos from the 49ers practice squad. And then you also have Jets picking up James Robinson from
the Jags.
From the Jags, yes. From the Jags to replace Breece Hall.
And with that, now by picking up James Robinson, obviously that opens up the door for Travis Etienne, because now he's by himself in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be very interesting for the rest of the season. So there's a lot of shaking and moving this week. You know, you're not really sure what's going to happen. Obviously, new players on a new team, you got to learn the system, just like you saw with CMC this week.
Yeah.
But it should definitely make the rest of the season get interesting, and hopefully we don't have any more injuries, because there's a lot of players coming down.
Yeah.
A lot.
Slim pickings in the waiver wire.
Oh yeah. And we'll talk about. We're going to talk about who had the hot pickups and the interesting drops come Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, looking at the legends versus the weakest. Do you want to start with the legends or the weakest?
Let's go weakest first.
So the weakest of the week. Let's start with the wide receivers, because they killed me. So Michael Pittman was 5.8. Bateman was 6.2. Debo was 6.9. Lockett was 8.0. Godwin was 8.0. CD 8.6. Cooper Steiger was 8.9. And Hill was 10.7.
Figures you finally played Cooper. He's been telling you to do it for weeks.
I didn't tell him to play it this week. I just said to play him. Hill with 10.7. So not the greatest showing ever for wide receivers, and that's a lot of big name wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
CMC in the running back category with 7.2. But I said this when the trade went down. I was like, this is a new offense.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan's great.
He's only been there like 4 days.
4
I
days,
think, at the time.
Kareem Hunt 7.3. CEH Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Kareem Hunt, remember, he's playing behind Chubb, so he's not going to put up.
He's still an RB2.
Yeah.
So he should be over 10. If it was over 10, I wouldn't have said anything. Under 10.
Well, how many attempts did they give him?
I don't care. You're still a lot of people playing him across the fantasy league. And then, Brian Robinson, the Commanders running back, 10.6. For a starting RB, that's not enough.
Yeah.
It's not going to do your team justice of what you need. The weakest of the week for the quarterbacks. This one also hurt me. Starting at the bottom this time. Geno with 13.1.
Mm-hmm.
You don't expect that out of a starting QB in a two QB league. Dak with 12.1. Matt Ryan with 11.9 and now benched.
Yep.
Tom Brady with 11.7. Yeah. And then Marcus Mariota with 11.1.
Now I'm going to stop you there because I'm looking at your list and you forgot someone.
Who did I forget?
Well, you forgot both my QBs, Mariota being one.
Well, I got Mariota.
Sorry, no, you forgot the other QB, Lamar Jackson.
What was he?
10.7. He's lower than any of the ones you wrote down.
He
was so low you didn't even find him on your list.
I didn't even scroll enough.
Yeah.
Damn.
The Ravens win the game. Like I said, not on Lamar Jackson's back. Gus Edwards and Justin Tucker, and he had his worst game of the year.
But that is
when I thought he was going to be coming back from it.
Honestly wild, which I definitely did not scroll down far enough to see that. If you look at the top wide receivers, you got the top 5, which one of them I would have expected. The
Which
other
one?
4 I would not have.
Chase.
So these are the top 5 right here.
Wait, you got Chase, who is on Prue's team.
Yeah, Jamar Chase with 30 points.
You got Tyler Boyd, who I had on my bench. Wish I put him instead of Gallup. Never play a Cowboys player.
Which, like I said, the top 2 wide receivers of the week are both Cincinnati Bengals players.
Yeah, true.
And actually, I looked. Higgins was like number 15
for T's.
Yeah.
And then you got Mecole Hardman, which we were talking about the other day. For Chiefs, it's so hard to pick a Chiefs player because you don't know which one's going to go off that week. It's never the same. But at the same time, you do have Smith-Schuster as well, number 4.
Yeah.
So you have Hardman and Smith-Schuster, 3 and 4. And when was the last time you saw that?
Not this year.
Yeah. Then Goodwin, number 5. Now, who saw Goodwin coming?
I didn't know Goodwin was on that team.
I didn't know.
And it's funny, I was just talking about him the other day because he's so fast, but I was like, oh, it's too bad he's not in the NFL anymore. I did not realize he was still on an NFL
Yeah,
team.
well, he wanted to make sure you saw him. 5th highest.
When that had all over 20 points, which is a sick week.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look at running backs, if you start at 5th, which, heck with your brother, I'm going to start at 6th. Ramondre Stevenson, 19.8. Then you
Good pickup.
Your guy, Eno Benjamin, 21.3.
Which, remember, I almost
I know you almost
took
benched
him out, and I
You
didn't.
almost benched him.
Look, worked out. You got Aaron Jones, also mine, finally putting up points. I'm very happy about that. Third, you have Eckler, who was on Tebow's team, put up 29.7 points. Kenneth Walker, 29.8 points, and Josh Jacobs with 36 points.
Yeah. And he was expected to do nothing
That's
this
on
season,
Steigers.
so way to go, Steiger.
Which Tiger got another win,
Yep. Steiger
leaving me in last place.
I was gonna harp on that in a minute.
I'm still crying on the inside. I'm trying to keep it inside. But QBs. So top 5 QBs for the week. You got in 5th place, Justin Fields. We were talking about.
Like I said,
Looks like he's playing football
he
again.
broke that 20 mark.
He did. He broke barely 20.4.
Hey.
This is actually now looking at it, it's not a. Well, no, actually, literally, he's the top 4 look like good QB scores.
Yeah.
5th, 20.4. I wouldn't say is elite, but it's still up there.
It's Justin though. I don't want to
But you have Mahomes, you have 26.9. You have Dalton, 29.5.
But as of right now, Dalton is not listed as the starting quarterback for this week.
Really?
Jameis Winston is.
I don't know what they're doing in
I
New
don't know.
Orleans, but I mean, we're about to find out this week. Daniel Jones, which I didn't even think was going to play.
True, we talked about that.
Yeah, Bridger mentioned that, and then he ended up putting up 29.8 points.
But he's like a firecracker. He looks good for a minute, and he's gone.
Well, and unfortunately, Prue had him on his bench this week, so didn't get those points.
Did not get those
I mean,
points.
Prue still won, I believe, but
Yes, he did.
then you have Burrow, which remember Burrow I said was going to overdo his projection, and he overdid my overdoing of his projection.
Yeah, he beat you out by 10 points.
Yeah.
Which funny enough, I used that clip, but
Yeah.
So now looking at what happened in the league, so should we go with the weekly report or the actual matchups? Weekly report.
Weekly report first.
So in the weekly report, do you want to say it?
Missing best team.
Yeah.
Best team, William Rodriguez, team 3 TEs with 188 points.
Now worst
So-
Team Tebow with 92.4 points. So if you doubled Tebow's score, if you gave Tebow 2 weeks, he doesn't beat your brother.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That is rough. And who does that say more about, though? Like,
I don't know. I don't even know.
Which obviously this is not a common occurrence for Tebow, but this is a common occurrence for Will.
Yeah, it's getting annoying. Will, you're disinvited to the league. Sorry. So players of the week. Let's start out. Yeah, go ahead and start off with the first one. Go ahead, give it to him.
Well, what I mentioned before, the QB, Joe Burrow,
Joe Burrow.
39.24 points.
And then Josh Jacobs for Steiger with 36 points against Houston.
Jamar Chase, wide receiver with Prue, 30 points.
George Kittle for Christina with 18.8 points.
Myers, a kicker, 16 points, which I noticed that earlier.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's
16
she's
points
been
from
on
your
point with
kicker. Yeah. You're not going to lose with that. Then you have, well,
Yeah, I played my boys, and how about them Cowboys with 26 points
On defense.
Now, and if you guys didn't see it, I posted the clip from last week's projections from Thursday's video, and I said Goff was going to eat turf a lot,
yeah.
and the Cowboys D was going to tear him up.
You did. You did say that.
Now, bench warmers of the week. This one can hurt. Looking at Daniel Jones for Prue, 29.78 points. That hurts.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
You have Gus Edwards, running back, with on my brother's team. I mean, he didn't need the points, but imagine if he had them.
You never like leaving him there. Believe me. You leaving Tyler Boyd on the bench, Tyler Boyd on the bench with 26.5 points.
I know. Then we got tight end Everett on Christina's team, 8.8. I don't know who she played, but 8.8 doesn't seem like it makes a big difference in who she played.
I don't know who she played, to be honest with you. And in that position, it could be either 8 points difference or it could be the same as everybody else. It's really kind of.
Actually, no. Sorry, hold on. She played Kittle.
Oh,
she played the
Kittle.
top.
So
So
it was 10
good job
points.
leaving.
Yeah, good job. Very smart. Very smart. We'll give you that one. So most efficient manager, the other half of the Tebow organization,
Justine
with 113.24 out of 113.24.
got her max points.
That's pretty efficient.
Unfortunately,
It's not enough.
not enough. Then least efficient manager, yours truly, Nate the Great, with 126.46 points out of a possible 161.
We are taking applications for the second seat on this podcast.
I actually told him I might call in sick today after my .08 loss last night. I'm still so upset with that.
So highest points in a loss, actually.
Highest points in a loss, yes, that is you. So 132.94, third highest score in the league. But you, unfortunately for you, you were against the number one score, 188.
So Steiger, with lowest points in a win, 124.32 over Justine's 113.24.
I wish I played either of them.
So 11.1 difference. Steiger gets the win though. Good. Steiger's on a little roll here. He's starting to build some momentum. His guys are coming back.
Pull me with you. And you got biggest blowout once again. That is you, William Rodriguez.
That is your brother. Me getting beat.
Oh, that is over you. 188 over your 132. So that's a, what is that, 55 point difference? You said.
Yeah.
Yeah, 55 point difference.
So, let me ask quick, just a quick side profile here. I can put the mic up. Are you starting to get sick of talking about your brother?
No. Still family. So as long as there's Rodriguez on top.
So we got a Rodriguez on top.
The Rodriguez sandwich.
Oh
man.
Christina with a narrow victory, 126.54 over Natrod's 126.46.
I don't think there could be a closer score. Obviously, there mathematically there can be, but
so 0.08 Christina.
Not even.
And he had all kinds of shot coming for next week or from the last week, and then you pulled out by 0.08.
So sad.
I still don't know if Champ is a earned name.
Whoa!
But she did just tell you Chomp
it was
Chomp.
earned.
She did just tell you Chomp Chomp and
Chomp
eat you by
Chomp,
0.08.
Then you have overachiever once again, Will Rodriguez, 188 over his projected 148.89. So 39 points over his projection.
Yeah, just over 39.
Yeah.
That's a nice little overage.
Mm-hmm. So then, just in case anyone was trying to catch his record, you still have to catch his points.
Yeah. And then underachiever, Tebow.
Oh, wow. Well, he had all those injuries.
Yeah, 92.4. Projected 137. I did look at, I think he had four injuries, 4 individuals that are going to be out now. So Tebow's going to be hot on the waiver wire this week.
But how many people can he pick up before anyone else does?
Right, and I will say for Will, 188, 40 something points over projection, or 39 points over projection. One major injury to any team can completely shake up the league. Mm-hmm. So right now he's got a commanding lead. We'll go over that in a second. But it's literally, unfortunately, in the NFL, you have one major player go down, it can be a big difference in your team.
Absolutely.
Big difference. Like this week, playing him, so lucky. I had Jalen Hurts and Stephon Diggs both on bye.
And me playing him next week, all he has is Kelsey on bye, which is big.
Hey, this is the tight ends team.
I know, he probably has tight ends over here.
But his superpower with Kelsey out, and he might have taken the ring and walked away for a week.
Maybe.
We combine our 3 tight ends. Looking at the week though, Team 3 TEs with 94.1% of his max points. So in this league, we have seen over 200 points. Actually, Christina's done it multiple times. I've done it. So seeing 199, that's getting back to where we've been in the past. Just people aren't scoring this year.
Yeah, you would think with an 8-team league, it would be a lot higher scoring. It's just not happening.
I mean, look at the other leagues. In our 12-team leagues that we're in, where it's normal layouts, we're scoring like 100 points a week.
If I'm lucky.
That's completely different. Yeah. Najee's in Paris at 84%. I was at 89.7. Champ at 93.9.
Then you have myself, 78.4. There's that least efficient manager for you. Then you got Steiger at 96.2%. It's very good. Belichick yourself, 100%. Then you have Tebow at 79.5. I just needed you to be 1.2%.
He just squeaked you out by this much.
And I could have been out of that least efficient manager role.
Before we go into the rankings for the league, looking at the matchups, I'll start with the bottom and then you can do the top. Belichick yourself losing to Steiger by about 11.2 or 11.1 points. Great job, Steiger, moving to 2-5. Then you had Tebow with 92.4 losing to Najee's in Paris with 138.16. So pretty big difference, but obviously, when you lose that many players in 1 week,
Yeah,
it makes it rough.
absolutely. Then you have myself, thank you for leaving this one for me. 126.46,
That was not on
lost to
purpose.
126.54, still crawling on the inside. Then you have,
That's
and
five losses in a row.
that's what I was just looking at, 5-game losing streak. Oh my God. Then you have supposedly the game of the week over here. I guess it still was.
It still was.
We got your 132.94 to my brother's 188.
Puts me at 4-3 and him at 6-1. Now, when you look at that from
Who did
elites,
you give him that one loss though? I don't remember. It wasn't me. I'm not trying to brag or anything.
I was like, was it you?
No, it was not me. I don't remember.
Will, make sure you pull your non-injured player out of the IR, please. You cannot leave them there for another week. Just giving you a little heads up. Oh, there's your brother with 195 points.
I think it was like week. Wait, that's the one.
Belichick.
Belichick yourself.
Okay. So now looking at the standings, starting from the bottom, Nat Rod with 1-6, 5 losses in a row, 902 points scored. Steiger, 2-5 with 904.84 points scored. So you're one win and 2.6 points, 2.42 points, 2.42 points behind Steiger. So Steiger, you're this close to receiving the golden balls instead of him. Belichick yourself.
I think you want the golden balls though.
Belichick yourself at 3-4, 934 points. Tebow at 3-4 as well, 971 points.
Got Diggs in the CD at 962.64%, 4-3. You got Champ, also 4-3, went up a position and at 1029.64, the second highest score in the league right now.
Yeah, she's beating by 60 points.
Then you got in second place, moving up is Najee's in Paris with a record of 5-2,
Standing
925.02 points.
Standing alone at second.
Yep, standing alone. Then you got standing alone at first, Team 3 TEs at 6-1, 1,171.24. So that puts them a good 142 points almost ahead of the next highest score.
Yeah.
Which is Champ. The only two people
Wow.
above 1,000.
Wow. So playoff bracket right now, Will versus myself, Prue versus Christina. And then in the toilet bowl, we
don't
got
need to see
Nat
that.
versus Tebow, Steiger
We can
versus
skip ahead of
Justine.
I don't know why you're even showing that. It's too early.
Hey, always curious, always curious. So, actually, the one thing that we did not talk about today, which we will hit really quickly here, was the pickups and the drops of the week.
Oh, that's
Did
right.
anybody have anything that really? There was a lot of pickups and drops this week.
The waiver wire was very active
It was
this
hot.
week, which
It
I
was
like
hot.
that.
Obviously, the Patriots D, but what didn't do what Proof expected.
No.
He definitely expected a much bigger one with that one. Mariotto for you didn't turn out the way you were hoping.
I don't know. I just needed something.
Yeah.
But then you picked up the Cowboys defense, which did exactly what you thought they were going to do, probably even better.
It just wasn't enough.
Unfortunately. Well, I mean,
Could have used 40 points. It'd have been nice.
Ayuk, I don't know how Ayuk did. Did he? I don't think my brother even played him.
I don't think he played up, and he didn't do anything great. Jacoby didn't do a lot. Gallup did nothing.
Myers didn't.
Tunyon did nothing. Alec Pierce had an okay week, but I don't think your brother even played him. Robinson didn't do what I expected. He had a very slow week, but Dylan did less. It looks like Dylan's done in Green Bay. Like he's a backup in case Jones gets hurt. That's the only way he's going to touch the ball. Wandell didn't do a lot. Robbie did nothing. And then Brett Maher actually was perfect on the week. So not bad. Thomas, not a bad drop.
Goff, terrible.
Goff did terrible. So
Did less than 2
Christina, I'm
points.
sure that didn't help anything.
Well, remember, I mean, she had no choice.
Oh, yeah.
Both her QBs were on bye.
I'm just saying it didn't help.
Oh, yeah.
Jacoby Brissett, Christina, I understand where you dropped him. Tebow, Drake was not the move of the week. I thought that could have been one of the biggest moves of the week.
Could have been,
He did
but
terrible.
I wasn't sure if that would get anywhere for myself.
Broncos, Robbie Tannehill injured. That didn't help me at all.
Well, you
I
dropped
dropped him. Your brother dropped Wandell afterwards. Packers picked up Rashad Bateman. We talked about him last week, and he was definitely a decoy. He's not ready to play.
which
Yeah.
kills me, but hopefully he's ready next week
Yeah.
against my brother. I need him.
Prue picked up Deontay Foreman, understandable, and actually he had a good week. I don't know if you played him. Matt Ryan, Steiger, that sucks.
Mhm.
Prue picked up Dylan. Oh, and he got rid of Foreman. That sucks too. Gus Edwards picked up that your brother made, but he didn't play him.
Yeah.
That was the bench warmer of the week. Dalton Schultz, you didn't need another tight end, bro.
Well, you'll need him for this week.
I know. Tannehill injured. Isaiah Pacheco. We're realizing, Prue, that they're not running the ball a whole lot. Now we're with Jerry Jeudy. I heard that Wilson's back in next week, and if he's actually feeling better, could be decent.
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones,
Bench warmer.
but benched.
But put up 29 points.
Good pick. Sucks that he didn't do anything. And then Christina with the first move of the week, dropping Brees Hall.
Immediately, didn't even wait for the week to end.
That's
Like, "Ah,
rough.
done."
That's rough. Christina, I gotta ask though, did you draft him? Because if you drafted him and dropped him, you can't keep him next year.
Is that what if I traded my keeper?
Then they can keep him.
Oh. Is that how it works?
Yeah,
So we can talk about this later.
they can draft him next year one spot or one round ahead of where you did it as a keeper if it was your keeper.
So, but this is just a regular drop though. So
This
it
is a
can't-
drop, so it can't be kept now.
Can't be a keeper. Keeper has to be.
Kept to the season.
What if it's someone you picked up halfway through the season?
Mm-mm.
Well, then it's not a.
Gotta be drafted.
Drafted.
Getting interesting.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are heading into week 8. Get your non-injured players out of the IR, please. We're going to be talking on Wednesday about what's to come this week. We got some interesting games.
Thursday.
Or sorry, yes, Thursday. We'll talk about what's going on with the NFL, and we'll talk about who
The waiver
Who
wire
conquered the
pickups.
waiver
for the
wire?
week. Yeah.
and-
I'm expecting
and
a much longer.
and who forgot it.
I remember last week and I remember this week.
All right. Well, with that, this is Ready or Not.
Football edition.
We will see you on Thursday.